Welcome back to the Stephen Knight Show. Remind you, we're all over social media: Facebook, X, Blue Sky, and of course our YouTube channel, The Stephen Knight Show. Please subscribe. We appreciate you. All right, so Kevin Federline says that he was barely able to scrape by while reportedly receiving $40,000 a month from Britney Spears for nearly 2 decades. The former dancer and ex-husband is opening up in his upcoming memoir about his life with their after their split, claiming the money didn't stretch as far as you think. He reportedly began receiving support payments after their 2007 divorce. Initially, it was $20K a month. Later raised to $40K a month by 2018. According to reports, the payments ended in late 2024 when their youngest son turned 18. Now, he's writing this book, and he's made a lot of claims about it in the book. He said that she used cocaine when she was breastfeeding. He said that when the kids would sleep, they would wake up sometimes and she'd be standing in the doorway wearing a knife, holding a knife, would walk away, without saying anything. He said that she called Justin Timberlake the night before their wedding. He's made a lot of accusations, and people are asking why now. He's saying because he's concerned about Britney. He said he hadn't talked to her about 10 years, but he's concerned about Britney Spears, and he's afraid that their children will end up having to deal with something tragic behind her in terms of her maybe not being here. She pretty much said it's a money grab and he's trying to make money off of her. But then today I saw a report that she said that she has a brain injury. TMZ reported that. So I don't know what's going on, but we see the videos of Britney Spears twirling and all that in the home all the time. So in my opinion, something's not right. But what do you think about this, Chike? He said he was getting $40K a month, essentially, and it just wasn't enough. What are your thoughts? Because we hear this about women all the time when they get alimony and they want these large amounts, and they're usually criticized. What are your thoughts on him?
Ah, you put me in these positions, Mr. Knight. You put me in these positions. Um, okay. I'm not a big, huge Britney Spears fan. I did enjoy some of her art.
Yeah.
And what I'm about to say is not coming from a place of being a Britney Spears fan. But last I've known, Kevin Federline was a professional dancer.
Mhm.
He was um, a dancer for hire. He worked for Britney Spears. They wind up getting into a relationship. And I guess once they got into the relationship, he started to see, you know, everything. So he had a full scope of what her life was. And then he decided to marry her. Right. So you married into that, whatever that was, because I'm sure you saw all of that while you were working with her. And
Mhm.
you had a relationship before you got married. You saw her in the relationship, then you even still decided to get married, which I always thought back then was about money. I always thought that. If you can't make $40,000 a month work and you being a professional yourself, did you stop working because you thought you was on the money train? I know you had the kids, but you're still a professional grown ass man who was working in the industry yourself. Now the kids are grown, you don't get the money anymore. You want to do a tell all book. It's not about the money, or you putting out the book because you're concerned. How does a tell all book help her?
Hmm.
Where's the concern? Like, how are you? Help me find the concern in that. I just don't understand. Bitch ass man. I just want bitch ass. Bitch assness.
Well, and then, initially what people were saying when he was coming out with this book that he said he wanted to, because there have been too many things said about him that he wanted to kind of clear it up. But some of these excerpts from the book, when he's talking about her doing cocaine when she was breastfeeding, I mean, you're really embarrassing her. If you're that concerned about her mental health, you wouldn't put that kind of things out there. But then now you're saying that $40,000 wasn't a month was not enough, that you were receiving for 2 decades. What are your thoughts?
Hmm. Hmm. Listen, somebody tried to get me for $58,000. So, I'm gonna say this. I was trying to calculate that shit real quick.
Mm-hmm.
So based off of my rough calculation, so we're talking about 20,000, right? For 12 years, 20,000 a month for 12 years, and then the 40,000 a month for 8 years.
Mm-hmm.
The rough calculation of that came to $6,720 over a 20-year span that you got from this woman for those children. Now, he had said his children were accustomed to living a certain lifestyle. Sir, you were accustomed to living a certain lifestyle, because when they were children, they don't know nothing about lifestyles. I'll tell you that right now.
Yeah.
Because you're the one that's at the first of all, it's even rare that a man will get custody of the children.
Very rare.
Right there. In California. Second, everybody talking about you, Otis. Ain't nobody come to see you. Because who talking about Kevin Federline? No one. Everybody talking about this man. And like Chike said, you went into this. Like, you saw the lay of the land. And you said, oh yeah, I'm going to marry this broad.
Mm-hmm.
You want to know why you said that? Because you had malice intent. You had no goodwill or good intention going into that. You knew what you were going into it for. And what we could do with 40,000, let's take that. You know what I could do with $20,000 a month? Ain't no way I'm going to spend 20 grand in a month if I'm getting it consistently every month. There's no way. Guess what?
But wait, you're a professional too that can earn money. That part.
You're a professional. When's the last time you heard about this dude dancing? He stopped dancing when he became a foible.
Mm-hmm.
He stopped dancing when he married her. I don't even remember the last time he professionally danced.
Right.
There's been no one in this bro, and I'm not a Britney Spears person. I don't listen to her music, but you can tell that there's no one in her life for her, not even her family.
Yeah.
Not even her family.
Yeah.
Oh, but you're doing this to help her. How does writing a book talking about her most deepest whatever benefit her?
Yeah.
Or your kids.
Or your kids. Or your kids. They're grown now. So now you're writing this book to do what? Because did you already impart in them a venom and a disdain for their mother when you had them? Because I don't know how her relationship is with her children.
Yeah, she didn't have them for a while. And he says the kids are in support of the book, but I don't know. I mean, no one's heard from the kids. They only heard what he said, you know.
I mean, hey, listen, people be like, give me $25,000 cash and I walk away and listen. Like,
And then my question is, what happens after the book, Federline? What happens after? Because you're still gonna need money, because nothing lasts forever.
Mm-hmm.
Because who's gonna buy that book?
Well, the only people, the reason why the book would be successful because it talks about Britney Spears. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
That's the only reason why. Well, listen, the tech company OpenAI has announced that following discussions with the estate of Martin Luther King Jr. is pausing the depiction of Dr. King on Sora, its short-form video tool. Now, in a statement posted on X, the company said some users generated disrespectful depictions of Dr. King's images. So at King's Inc.'s request, OpenAI has paused generations depicting Dr. King as it strengthens guardrails for historical figures. The statement continued, while there are strong free speech interests in depictions historical figures, OpenAI believes public figures and their families should ultimately have control over how their likeness is used. According to CNBC, OpenAI, which is the company behind ChatGPT, launched Sora at the end of September. The AI tool allows users to create short videos using text prompts. Bill Pebbles, the head of Sora, shared that they were able to surpass more than 100 million downloads in less than 5 days after the launch. And I've seen a lot of these videos on TikTok where they have him like he's giving a speech in front of everyone, and he's saying like slang things or talking about just derogatory things, and it's supposed to be cute, but I forgot who the other celebrity was that they were doing it about their late father, and so they made a statement. And Bernice King, it was that Robin Williams family. They were doing the same thing about him, and I believe his daughter or somebody in his family made a comment about it, and she doubled down on it as well, agreeing because I guess she had seen these images as well. Do you think, Lanier, this does violate free speech, or do you think it should be about the family and the estate's likeliness of the person?
I don't care whether someone is dead or alive. One of the videos that came from that was a speech that Dr. King was giving, and they had him acting like a monkey.
Mm. Mm.
No one should be able to take your likeness and augment it for laughs or to create some form of friction. Like just recently there was a group of young Black boys, young Black men. They did a video. This video was done a while ago. The video wasn't even recent. And somebody found that video and augmented that video with AI.
Yeah.
And the dummies over there that's in this White House, that lady that liked to kill animals, then put out a statement about that video, which was found to be augmented by AI and wasn't even. So the augmented version talks about the stuff that we put in the freezer to freeze. And that wasn't what the original video was about.
Right.
So then that lady, then in turn, damn near put a hit out on black men because of that video that was fabricated.
Yeah.
And I think all of those young men in that video and their families should sue them for defamation and for threatening their lives. Because one of the young men that was like in the front of the young man in front of the video spoke out about it. He's like, that's not even the video that we did. That's not the original video.
Did you see the ICE responding to that video? His claim. They said we have receipts, so they're double downing on it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
This is Twilight Zone. But Chicken, what are your thoughts on OpenAI saying they put a pause on these creations?
I'm gonna dare say that it's blasphemous. That's how I'm looking at it. Looking at Dr. King's legacy, what he did in and for this country, and to have someone taint it with art, it's not cool.
Yeah.
And maybe I'm coming from a place more personal because Dr. King was one of our own. He, that's one instance where we had someone of color who rose to greatness that was accepted by a lot of people. Like he made strides for mankind, not just the Black race, but for mankind.
Right.
And he was known around the world as being a positive person for mankind. And to have someone come along and taint his legacy with buffoonery because you thought that it was funny for cheap laughs, not cool. And yeah, you should be able to sue them and dig in their pockets for that, because it's again, the word that comes to my head is blasphemous. It's blasphemous.
I agree. Oh, Minnesota Vikings cornerback Isaiah Rodgers didn't just walk off the field after Sunday's loss. He walked right into a moment that exposed the ugly side of fandom. Following the Vikings' 28-22 defeat to the Philadelphia Eagles, Rodgers took to X to reveal that he had received some of the most racist comments since joining the league. Rodgers shared a screenshot on Instagram showing hateful DMs, some filled with racial slurs, including the N word. One message was so vile it compared him to Hitler, writing, "You're worse than Hitler." Strangely, the same person circled back later with an apology. The irony speaks volumes. On the field, Rodgers was defending two major plays that swung the momentum of the Eagles: a 79-yard touchdown by Devontae Smith and a 45-yard completion to A.J. Brown that sealed the game. Rodgers didn't shy away from accountability afterwards, saying, "I put it on me. I came here for a reason, and those type of plays I know I can make, so I put it on me." But when he later wrote on X, "Racism is real," it hit differently. It wasn't about the game anymore. It was about something much deeper. How black athletes are often expected to perform perfectly just to be treated with basic respect. Now, before landing with the Minnesota Vikings on the 2-year $15 million free agent deal in March, Rodgers spent 2024 with the Philadelphia Eagles, the same team whose fans turned their rage into racism. The irony writes itself. So, let me say this: the Minnesota Vikings are gearing up to face the Los Angeles Chargers Thursday night, and all the eyes will be on Rodgers, not just for his defense, but for his strength off the field. So, Chike, what are your thoughts? I mean, I saw the movie him over the weekend. It showed the fandom of football and how they really take it serious and personal. We know they say football is America's sport, but when someone messes up, to go racist, to go in someone's DM, and I mean, what kind of society we living in?
I don't know. I can't speak to that. I don't understand the the personal nature of it. Like people are taking it on as if you assaulted one of their children or something.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And I will say this, living in the Delaware Valley, Philadelphia fans are cut different. They're just different kind of fans. They're built different. And I'm not making excuses for them, but
Right.
they're just different people. And a lot of people outside of the area do not really care for Philadelphia teams because of the fans.
Mm-hmm.
The fans are what make some people that live outside of the region dislike the teams here because the fans are vicious. There's been cases of violence, disrespect. I don't see it's a game.
Mm-hmm.
It's a game. You
Yeah.
lost money because you chose to bet. It's
Right.
a game.
Yeah. Yeah. And Lanier, a lot of his fans did show solidarity for him by in his comments, upping him and just sending well wishes. But what are your thoughts when you see? I mean, something shifted with this country. And I know racism and people being crazy has always been here, but it seems like it's even more in your face. What are your thoughts about all this?
Those who have been hiding have now been given a hall pass.
Yep.
Now, this game was in Minnesota.
Mm-hmm.
So technically, um, we don't know whether those are Minnesota Vikings fans because we won. I'm an Eagles fan.
Mm-hmm.
So we don't know what fans that was. I'm going to venture to say that it was probably Minnesota fans because they lost.
Mm-hmm.
But I could be wrong. I digress. Either way, this is what, if you are not even a celebrity or an athlete, this is what Black people put up with every day. And we just want y'all to leave us the hell alone.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't understand. We can lose a game. I'm going to cuss in my house.
Right.
I'm going to be upset with my team. But to actively slide in somebody's DM that you don't even know and be completely ignorant.
Yeah.
You know what kind of gumption you have to be that ignorant?
Yep.
I don't care if you circle back and apologize. That's really who you are.
Right. That was your first
That's
instinct.
where your heart is.
Mm-hmm.
And we see this so much, especially with Black parents. That's why I never understand. You had Colin Kaepernick try to stand up for something.
Yep.
And nobody supported him. Not even Black players supported him the way that they should have. He should still be playing football right now. And I haven't seen any players take a stance. Because you know what will really hurt them? Y'all don't play at all. Mm-hmm. Just let it be all it is. Let's see how exciting that game is going to be. Whether it's football, basketball, soccer, whatever. Let's see how exciting it's going. If all of us decided we're not going to do this until the league shows us that they're for us. We're talking about, listen, Jerry Jones was in a picture way back in the day of him attending something that involved demeaning and degrading Black people. And he is still that man is 1,000,000 years old and still the owner of the Cowboys. Yeah. Like that, we still have so many of these people. I need y'all to act like this is not like these things happened a long time ago.
Yeah.
Like Ruby Bridges is still alive.
Mm-hmm. And speaking of Jerry Jones, he reportedly donated $50 million to Charlie Kirk Foundation.
It sounds to me like Lanier wants to create her own Negro football league. That's what it sounds to me.
It should be a Negro football league, Negro basketball league. I'm just saying.
All right. Well, here's our last story. So if you thought our artificial intelligence was just writing term papers, crafting resumes, or pretending to be your ex in a text thread, think again. Tammy Carver, a 45-year-old Michigan woman, just flipped the script on a lottery using none other than ChatGPT to pick her Powerball numbers. And sis walked away with a cool $100,000. She said, I asked ChatGPT for a set of Powerball numbers, and those are the numbers I played. Carver told Michigan lottery officials after pulling up to claim her prize like it was payday at the plant. So how exactly did this happen? Well, according to her, it was early September, and the Powerball jackpot was giving Run the Gas Station Now energy, sitting at a face-melting 1.7 billion, the second highest in history. That's when Tammy, who only plays when the bag gets outrageous, decided to use ChatGPT. Now, people are using ChatGPT for a lot of things. GK, what are your thoughts?
I mean, kudos to her for, I guess, winning the money. Me personally, I use it for entertainment purposes, for, laughs or whatever, maybe doing some research on things that I have to, for the journalism stuff. But I try my best to stay away from it for the most part. Like, I'm not really trying to engage too much. I don't want to become totally dependent. Mm-hmm. I have a brain. I went to school. I paid a lot of money to get some education, and I think that I'm pretty smart. So I kind of want to use what I have.
I wonder if more people are going to start using it to pick the lottery numbers for them. But they were saying be careful with the ChatGPT because it's collecting data and it's going to associate with you. Lydia, what are your thoughts on her using ChatGPT to win this 100,000?
I mean, I just did it for research purposes. So if I take off, let me tell you something. First of all, ain't nobody gonna know that I won the lottery. I need you to understand that. Ain't nobody gonna know I won the lottery. All I'm gonna do is say, pack a bag, bitch. We are out of here for a couple weeks. That's all I'm saying.
Yep.
That's it. Like, she could have kept that information to herself. Now she is gonna mess up ChatGPT, and all these dumb behind people gonna be on here like, So let me look at these numbers real quick.
Right. Exactly. Well, congratulations, Tammy, on your 100,000 winning. Well, listen, that's Hot Topics. We did thank.
Steven.
Yes.
D'Angelo.
Oh, yes. We didn't get to talk about that. D'Angelo passed away of pancreatic cancer last week, and he's from Richmond, Virginia, where I'm from. They said that, and my mother passed away of the same cancer, and they said that it's hard to detect pancreatic cancer early on because of where the pancreas is located, and so people typically find out when it's in a later stage, and that's why it's one of the most deadliest cancers around. And apparently, he battled this quietly and privately. I thought about he and Angie Stone's son, who lost both parents in the same year. Angie Stone passed away in March, and him last week. But his music, I was on live the other night, and I started playing "Lady." That's my favorite song by him, "Lady." And that's the beautiful thing about an artist; their work will last on for their fans. But it's so sad to see him pass away at 51. What are you all's thoughts on? Linnea, you brought up. What's your thoughts on his passing?
I absolutely have always loved D'Angelo. And, when life happens, sometimes, there was a time music was like the soundtrack to my life.
Mm-hmm.
And then at some point, trauma changed that for me and it got quiet. So I've been reconnecting with music how I used to. And I've been blasting D'Angelo all weekend. And I was volunteering at a film festival over the weekend. So that was like my calming thing for me, listening to D'Angelo. But I also saw that his daughter posted a beautiful message. And it's a hurt piece.
Yeah.
It's a hurt piece. And I love to, I just wish people appreciate people while they're here.
Yes.
And not when they're gone.
Mm-hmm.
So it's definitely affected a lot of people. I see Anthony Hamilton, Busta Rhymes. October London did a beautiful tribute on the Tom Joyner cruise. So
yeah, and I'm glad that CBS, ABC's all the evening shows, the morning shows, they all covered it, I'm glad that he got that recognition at least. But Chike, what are your thoughts? Because I know you lived in Richmond, Virginia as well.
Yeah. So D'Angelo was making his rounds because that was the beginning of him getting out. And I remember seeing him in a couple of spots, especially this one particular spot, the Slip Shaco Bottom.
Mm-hmm.
He had performed, and I was in college. I was newly, independent, and him and a couple of other artists that came out around that time represent a shift in my life of positivity. And I remember D'Angelo being like a breath of fresh air for R&B music. They were labeling it neo soul.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just the beginning of a movement. Because after that, we received The Roots, we received Jill Scott, we received Erykah Badu. It was Kendrick the Family Soul. It's like all this rush of people with the same type of vibe came into our mix. And it hurt to hear that he was no longer with us because I felt connected, personal. Yeah.
Definitely. Well, may he fly on, rest in power, and God bless his family and his children. Linnea, thank you so much for Hot Topics. Chike, I'll see you in movie reviews, and we'll be right back after this.